I recently faced a car lover's nightmare. The HOA president tried to skip every step and claim our red Ferrari like it was a rental. And her reason? She said she was being targeted if I didn't hand it over. Funny thing is, the only thing being targeted that day was her authority after I put her in her place. But let me start from the beginning. The bell over the showroom door chimes. It is a soft, polite sound. It is designed to not startle the cars. Here at Prestige Ferrari of Scottsdale, everything is calm. The air smells like expensive leather and clean metal. The floors are polished gray concrete. They reflect the deep, perfect red of the SF90 Straight Ale in the center of the room. It looks like a spaceship that decided to be a car. I am Ethan Cole. I sell these beautiful machines. My job is to be as calm and polished as the showroom. I know the rules. I know the cars, and I know the people who want them. Most of them get it. They understand this is not like buying a toaster. This is like adopting a dragon. You have to prove you can handle it. The bell chimes, and in walks a woman who does not look like she gets it. She wears a sharp white blazer. Her hair is a perfect blonde helmet. She walks not like she is visiting, but like she is inspecting. Her eyes scan the room, skipping over the art on the walls, skipping over me. They land on the red SF90. She points a finger with a perfect manicure. That one, she says. Her voice is not loud, but it fills the quiet room. It is a voice used to giving orders. I walk toward her. I put on my easy smile. It is part of the uniform. Good morning. I'm Ethan Cole. She's a beauty, isn't she? The SF90 Straight Ale has about a 1,000 horsepower hybrid powertrain. I keep my tone light. Informative. No pressure. She waves a hand, dismissing the details. I need it for 6 months, she says. 6 months. No extra checks, she adds, waving her phone. Not asks, needs. Our shortest lease is 24 months. We don't offer 6-month terms. A couple walks in with their kid in a racing tee. He gasps at the SF90 and freezes like he's seen a T-Rex. I hold up a palm. Look, don't touch. Sharon reaches for the door handle anyway. David clears his throat behind her. Ma'am, please. She glares. The kid whispers to his dad, loud enough for all of Scottsdale. Dad, is she the boss of the cars? Dad shakes his head. No, bud. The rules are. Sharon laughs like it's a joke. Rules are for people without titles, she says. David steps beside me. Easy smile, broad shoulders. Here, titles don't drive, he says. The kid thumbs up the line like it's a movie quote. Sharon's jaw tightens. Good, she says, already pulling out her phone as if the deal is done. Have it delivered tomorrow. I don't want to be bothered with a lot of checks and paperwork. Just send the bill. I feel my smile tighten just a little. My methodical brain lays out the track ahead. Many, many steps. She is trying to teleport to the finish line. Ms. Vance. I begin, my voice still even, still calm. I can appreciate you're a busy person, but there is a process. It's the same for everyone. For a car like this, it's about safety as much as it is about finances. I gesture to my office, a glass cube with a good view of the cars. First, we'd run a standard credit application. She scoffs, a small, sharp sound. That's not necessary. It is, I say, my tone firm but still polite. It's policy. Then we need proof of a very specific type of insurance. A high-performance vehicle policy with adequate liability coverage. Your standard auto insurance won't cover a car with this value or power. Insurance must be active and verified in writing before any demo or handoff. I can see the storm clouds gathering in her eyes. She is not used to the word no or policy. And finally, I continue, for clients new to this power level, we require a high-power orientation and a supervised track session. It's standard policy for anyone new to 900-plus horsepower. We have a partnership with a local track. It's for your safety and for the safety of, well, everyone else on the road. I pick up a sleek tablet from my desk. I tap the screen, and a document appears. It is our lease policy sheet. Clear bullet points, simple language. I hold it out for her to see, making sure it is angled toward one of the small, discreet security cameras in the ceiling corner. A habit. My brother always told me, document everything. Paper doesn't forget. We log policy talks on camera for training and safety. This all seems ridiculous, she snaps, not even looking at the tablet. I've been driving for 20 years. I know how to handle a car. I give a small, non-committal shrug. I'm sure you're an excellent driver, Ms. Vance. But 1,000 horsepower on a public road is different. The rules are in place to protect you, the community, and the asset. They are not flexible. She glares at me. The polite mask is gone. Now I see the power-hungry woman from the stories. The The one who measures fences with a ruler and fines people for having the wrong color welcome mat. She sees rules as things to be used against others, not applied to herself. This is absurd. I am a very important person in this community. An exception should be made. I look her straight in the eye. My smile is gone now, replaced by something neutral, unmovable. At Prestige Ferrari, the most important people are the ones who follow the safety rules. There are no exceptions. For a second, I think she might actually scream. Her face gets tight. Her hands clench into fists at her sides. Instead, she takes a sharp breath. She gives me a look that could curdle milk. Fine, she spits out. I'll get you your paperwork. You'll see. She turns on her heel. The sharp click-clack of her shoes echoes in the showroom. The polite bell chimes as she shoves the door open and storms out. I watch her go. I take a slow breath. The calm returns to the room. But I know this is not over. People like Sharon Vance do not just give up. They do not learn lessons. They just look for a different way to break the rules. I have a feeling her paperwork is going to be very, very imaginative. A few days go by. The showroom is its usual quiet self. I sell a beautiful gray Roma to a tech guy who is so excited he is practically vibrating. He spends an hour just sitting in it, touching the steering wheel, smelling the leather. He has his insurance binder ready. It is perfect. He has already booked his track day with Coach Romero. He is a good client. He respects the dragon. In the middle of this, Chloe comes in. Chloe is one of my favorite clients. She bought a Portofino M from me last year. She is a model, but she is also a serious car person. She knows her stuff. Today, she is here for a routine checkup on her car. She finds me in the showroom. Ethan, how's the world of fast cars? She asks, her smile genuine. Quiet today, Chloe. Just how I like it, I reply. How's the Portofino treating you? She's a dream. I took her up to Sedona last weekend. The handling on those mountain roads perfection. We talk about cars for a while. We talk about a new exhaust system she is considering. It is an easy, pleasant conversation. It is a reminder of why I love this job. It is about passion, not just status. As she is about to leave, she brings up the Pine Ridge HOA. You know, my friend lives there. She says their HOA president is a real piece of work. Sharon Vance. My ears perk up. Oh, really? I keep my tone neutral. She was in here the other day, interested in the SF90. Chloe's eyes go wide. Her in an SF90? Ethan, she can barely park her Range Rover without hitting a curb. My friend says she got a ticket for running a red light right in front of the community gate. This is not surprising, but it is good information. It paints a clearer picture. My protective instincts flare up. A person like that behind the wheel of a 1,000 horsepower car is a catastrophe waiting to happen. It reinforces my decision to be a brick wall. The rules are there for people exactly like her. After Chloe leaves, I am at my desk filing the paperwork for the Roma sale. An email dings in my inbox. The subject line is simple: paperwork for SF90 lease. The sender is Sharon Vance. My world-weary side sighs. Here we go. I open the email. It is brief and demanding. Here is my proof of insurance as requested. I expect to schedule my test drive immediately. Attached is a single PDF file. I click on it. It downloads and opens. It is a binder letter. It is from a major insurance company, one we work with all the time. It states that Sharon Vance is insured for a Ferrari SF90 straight ale with a $5 million liability policy. It looks official enough at a glance, but my methodical brain takes over. I zoom in. Something feels off. The company logo at the top. It is a little fuzzy around the edges, like a picture of a picture. I pull up the binder from my new Roma client. His is from the same company. I put the two documents side by side on my big monitor. The difference is suddenly obvious. The logo on the Roma owner's document is a sharp, clean vector graphic. Sharon's is a blurry JPEG. It is pixelated when I zoom in. A red flag. I skim down the page. The font used for her name and address is slightly different from the rest of the document. It is a standard system font, Times New Roman. The real document uses a custom corporate font. Another red flag. Then I see the policy number. It is a string of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My sarcasm kicks in. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did she think we wouldn't look? It is almost insulting. My brother, a master mechanic, used to say, "The devil is in the details, but so is the truth." This document is full of devils. The signature at the bottom for the supposed agent is also pixelated. It was clearly copied and pasted from somewhere else. This is not just a mistake. This is not a misunderstanding. This is a deliberate, calculated forgery. And it is a terrible one. This moves beyond showroom policy. This is fraud. I pick up my phone and call Michael, our finance lead. Michael is a quiet guy, but he sees everything. He is the king of details. Michael, it's Ethan. Can you come to my office for a second? I've got something you need to see. He is there in 30 seconds. I do not say anything. I just point at the two documents on my screen. He leans in. His eyes move back and forth between the two. He is silent for a full minute. Then he lets out a low whistle. Wow, he says. That's not just bad, that's lazy. Did she make this in Microsoft Paint? That's what I thought, I say. It's an insult to forgers everywhere. Michael straightens up. So what's the play? I can tell the insurance company. They have a fraud department that loves this kind of thing. That's the next step, I agree. But first, I want to see how far she takes this. She mentioned a test drive. That means she thinks this piece of art is going to work. I lean back in my chair, looking at the fake document on the screen. This is no longer about a woman with an ego problem wanting a car she cannot handle. This is about a person in a position of power who thinks she can lie and cheat her way to whatever she wants. My core question about justice pops into my head. What does real justice look like here? It is not just about saying no. It is about making sure the lie is exposed completely. She's going to try the track next. I say to Michael, she's going to have a fake training certificate, too. I can feel it. Michael nods. So you'll be there? Oh yeah, I say. I wouldn't miss it for the world. The track day arrives. The Arizona sun is already baking the asphalt at 7 in the morning. The air smells like gasoline and ambition. I drive out to the performance driving school, not in a Ferrari, but in my own sensible sedan. I am not here to drive. I am here to watch. I find Coach Romero by the main gate to the track paddock. Coach is a man in his late 60s. He has a face like a worn leather glove and a handshake that could crush a walnut. He has been teaching people how to drive fast cars since before I was born. He has forgotten more about racing than most people will ever know. He trusts data, not stories. He is the perfect gatekeeper. Morning, Coach, I say, handing him a coffee. Ethan, he grunts, taking a sip. You're out early. Don't tell me you're finally going to let me teach you how to properly take turn 3. One day, Coach. Today I'm just here for the show. I say, I have a feeling you're going to have a special visitor. A woman named Sharon Vance. Coach Romero raises an eyebrow. He pulls a clipboard from the hook on the gatehouse wall. He flips through the pages. Vance. Vance. Nope. Not on my list for today. Not on my list for this week. That's what I figured. I say. She's the president of an HOA. Thinks rules are suggestions. She might show up with her own version of a pass. Coach Romero lets out a dry chuckle. She can show up with a letter from the Pope. If her name's not on my list, her car is not touching my track. Simple as that. He is a man after my own heart. I thank him and find a spot to wait out of the way, where I can see the entrance. I do not have to wait long. A pristine white Range Rover pulls up to the gate. It stops abruptly. The driver's side door opens, and out steps Sharon Vance. She is dressed in a designer tracksuit that has never seen a bead of sweat. She strides to the gatehouse like she owns the place. I can hear her voice from 50 feet away. I'm here for my track certification, she announces to Coach Romero. Coach looks at her over the top of his reading glasses. He does not say a word. He just looks down at his clipboard, then back up at her. The silence hangs in the air. Well, she says, her tone impatient. My name is Sharon Vance. I know who you are, Coach says, his voice flat. You're not on the list. Sharon's face tightens. She holds up a piece of paper. From here, it looks like a certificate, complete with a gold foil seal. I have my pass right here. I completed the online preliminary course. This is my certificate for the final on-track assessment. My methodical brain files this away. The online preliminary course does not exist. It is another fabrication. A new lie built on top of the old one. Coach Romero does not even look at the paper she is waving in his face. There is no online course, he says. And that piece of paper is not one of ours. You need to register, pay, and get on the schedule, like everyone else. Sharon's voice starts to rise. It gets that sharp, screechy edge I remember from the showroom. This is ridiculous. I am the president of the Pine Ridge HOA. I have a lease pending at Prestige Ferrari. Ethan Cole is expecting me to complete this today. She points a finger at Coach Romero. Do you know who I am? Coach Romero takes a slow sip of his coffee. He sets the cup down deliberately. He looks her dead in the eye. Ma'am, he says, his voice dangerously quiet. I know you're not on my list, and on this track, that's the only name that matters. Now, you can either leave, or I can have security escort you out. Your choice. The threat is not loud, but it is real. David, my head of security at the dealership, used to be a bouncer. He always said, the guys who yell are never the problem. It's the quiet ones you watch out for. Coach Romero is one of the quiet ones. Sharon is stunned into silence. She looks from the coach's unmoving face to the closed gate. She is used to people folding. She is used to her title being a magic key. Here it is just a bunch of words. Her fake certificate flutters in her hand, a useless prop. My protective side feels a surge of satisfaction. This is how it should be. The rules are a wall protecting the track and the people on it from her ego. She sputters for a moment, trying to find a new line of attack. This is discrimination. You're just trying to stop me. I'm trying to stop anyone who hasn't been trained from getting on a professional racetrack, he corrects her calmly. Now, I have clients to attend to. He turns his back on her and walks toward the paddock, dismissing her completely. She stands there for a moment, fuming. She crumples the fake certificate in her fist and throws it on the ground. She gets back in her Range Rover, slams the door, and speeds away, kicking up gravel. I walk over and pick up the crumpled paper. The gold seal is just a sticker from a craft store. The signature is a blurry, unreadable scroll. I smooth it out and fold it carefully. Another piece of evidence. Another part of the story. I know she will not stop here. She has been blocked at the front door and now at the side gate. She is going to try to blow a hole in the wall next, and I will be ready for it. The call comes an hour later. It is from my boss, the owner of the dealership. His name is Mr. Wei. He is a good man, but he hates conflict and he really hates bad publicity. Ethan, he says, his voice tight with stress. Sharon Vance just called me. She's threatening to go to the news. She's saying we're discriminating against her, that you and some track instructor are part of a conspiracy to deny her a lease. I listen patiently. I can picture Sharon on the other end of her call with him, probably crying, definitely yelling. It is her go-to move. Mr. Wei, I say calmly. Everything she is telling you is a lie. She showed up with a forged insurance binder. Then she showed up at the track with a fake training certificate. She says the documents are real and you just don't want to deal with her, he says. I can hear the plea in his voice. He wants this to just go away. I have copies of everything, Mr. Wei. The forgeries are obvious. I can show you. There is a long sigh on the other end of the line. She is a prominent figure, Ethan, president of a big HOA. We can't just ignore this. A media storm would be very bad for business. I know what is coming next. The compromise, the path of least resistance. What do you propose, Mr. Wei? I ask. She wants a test drive. She says if she can prove she can handle the car, all of this will go away. One drive on the track. My world-weary soul groans. But my methodical brain sees an opportunity, a trap. Okay, I say. One drive, but on my terms, not hers. What are the terms? He asks, relieved. The demo uses a dealer-owned SF90 with track insurance and our liability policy. Her personal policy isn't used for this supervised session. It has to be a fully supervised run. I'm in the passenger seat. Coach Romero is in the control tower monitoring. I'm factory trained and right seat certified under our insurer. And most importantly, the car runs a VBOX data logger that records throttle, brake, and steering inputs and prints a simple chart after the lap. One lap, that's it. If she can't handle one clean lap, it's over. No arguments. She'll see that as you trying to trap her, he warns. Let her, I say. If she's the great driver she claims to be, she has nothing to worry about. The data won't lie. Mr. Wei agrees. He calls her back. Of course, she accepts the terms. Coach Romero greenlights one supervised lap under his safety rules. Track insurance and med crew are on station. In her mind, this is her victory. She has bullied her way behind the wheel. She does not understand that she is walking into a cage of her own making. An hour later, she is back at the track. She is smug. She looks at me and Coach Romero with a triumphant smirk. We're using our dealer-owned demo, not a customer car. We lead her to the SF90 Straydale, idling quietly in the pit lane. It is a beautiful monster. All right, Ms. Vance, I say, keeping my voice professional. Let's go over the basics. She waves me off, eyes on her reflection. I know how to drive. I walk her around the car. Left paddle down shifts, right paddle up shifts. Carbon ceramics bite hard. If Coach says brake, you brake. She's checking her reflection in the window. I don't need a babysitter. I tap the red kill switch cover. This is not for you. It's for me. Coach crackles in our headsets. Radio check, Sharon. She doesn't answer. Sharon, radio check. Fine. She snaps. Check. He sighs. Copy. Remember, brake before turn in. Eyes up. I cinch her belts. She rolls her eyes. Tight enough. It's tight when you can't shrug. I say. I tug. She can't move. Good. Diaz calls the worker station. Yellow flag drill armed. The marshal waves back. My chest goes cool. We aren't proving skill. We're proving whether she listens. Our demo SF-90 runs 5-point clip-in belts and a dash kill switch per our track insurer. I lock my 5-point harness. Coach Romero will be on the radio. I explain. He will tell you the breaking points and the proper line for the corners. Your only job is to listen and do exactly what he says. Can you do that? Of course, she says, her eyes on the empty track ahead. The gate opens. I give her the signal. She mashes the accelerator. The car leaps forward with a scream of protest from the tires. My head snaps back against the seat. We clear the pit speed limiter at the cone and enter hot. As we merge onto the straight, we're already at 80. Easy on the throttle. I say, my voice sharp. She does not seem to hear me. We fly toward the first corner. Coach Romero's voice crackles over the radio. Okay, Sharon, start braking now. Now. She stays on the gas. The corner is rushing toward us. My hand hovers over the emergency engine cutoff switch on the center console. At the very last second, she slams on the brakes, but she does not come off the throttle. The car's computer gets confused. It is being told to go and stop at the same time. The car shudders, lurching violently. The anti-lock brakes pulse like a machine gun. We somehow slither through the corner, tires squealing. You're on the brake and the gas. I yell over the engine noise. One or the other. The rest of the lap is the same. It is terrifying. She ignores every command from Coach Romero. She is sawing at the steering wheel. She blows past apexes. On the main straight, she ignores a yellow flag Coach Romero puts out as a test. It is a flag that means caution, slow down. Diaz throws it as a drill to check compliance. She actually accelerates. It is the worst driving I have ever witnessed in my life. It is not just bad, it is dangerously incompetent. We finish the one lap and pull back into the pit lane. I am drenched in a cold sweat. She, on the other hand, is beaming. See, she says, exhilarated. I handled it perfectly. It's a wonderful car. She thinks that because we did not crash, she passed the test. She has no idea what just happened. I get out of the car on shaky legs. Coach Romero is walking toward us from the control tower. He has a long sheet of paper in his hand. It is the telemetry printout. He holds it up without a word. It looks like a recording of a massive earthquake. Jagged spikes for the throttle. Abrupt, flat-topped mountains for the braking. A wild, scribbling line for the steering angle. He points to one section. This is where you were on full throttle and 80% brake at the same time, he says, his voice cold as ice. He points to another spot. And this is where you accelerated past a yellow flag. On my track, that gets you banned for life. Sharon looks at the paper, then at him. The smug look on her face finally vanishes. It is replaced by confusion, then by dawning anger. That's not right. The car is defective. It wasn't doing what I told it to do. I step forward. Arizona is one-party consent, and I record rides for safety. Files are time-stamped and stored encrypted. I hold up my phone, which has been recording audio. The car did exactly what you told it to do, Ms. Vance. I say quietly. And this data is the proof. This is why we have rules. This is why we have training. You are a danger to yourself and everyone around you in a car like this. The truth hits her. The data does not lie. The trap has snapped shut, and her face turns a shade of purple I have never seen before. She opens her mouth, and what comes out is pure, undiluted rage. She does not scream at me. She does not scream at Coach Romero. She pulls out her phone. Her hands are shaking with fury. She fumbles with the screen for a second. Then her face smooths into a mask of practiced victimhood. She is live on social media. I see the little red live icon pop up. I am here at the local racetrack, she begins, her voice trembling with fake tears. I am being attacked. I am being bullied by Ethan Cole from Prestige Ferrari and his friends. Her eyes are wide and pleading to the camera. It is a performance, and she is good at it. All I wanted was to lease a car, a beautiful red Ferrari. But because I am a strong, successful woman, they don't want me to have it. They are trying to stop me. They made me drive this car that is clearly defective. The brakes don't work right. She pans the camera over to the telemetry sheet in Coach Romero's hand. They printed out this fake paper with all these squiggly lines on it to try and confuse me, to try and say I'm a bad driver. This is what men do when they feel threatened by a powerful woman. This is sexism. This is gatekeeping. The rant goes on for 5 minutes. It is a masterwork of deflection and lies. She talks about her role as HOA president, how she works tirelessly for the community, and how this is just another attempt by the good old boys club to keep her down. She ends with a tearful plea for her followers to call the dealership and demand justice. Then she ends the broadcast. She looks at me with a look of pure triumph. She thinks she has won. She thinks a social media mob is more powerful than the truth. I've seen this move before. This is the modern playbook for people who get caught. Blame everyone else. Scream discrimination. Make it about anything other than your own failure. My phone starts buzzing in my pocket. Then it buzzes again and again. The calls are starting. My boss, Mr. Wei, is going to have a very bad afternoon. But I am not worried. My methodical brain is already 2 steps ahead. She used a public forum. I will use a public forum. She used emotion. I will use facts. I look at Coach Romero. He just shakes his head in disgust. I walk over to Michael, my finance guy, who I had asked to come to the track just in case. He has been watching from a distance. You see that? I ask him. I saw it. He says, his expression grim. She's good at that. Let's be better. I say. My buddy at Lumbo texts. She's here. Same speech. Security walking her out. I pull out my phone and call Chloe, the model, the real Ferrari owner. I explain what just happened. I tell her about the live video. There is a pause on the line. Then Chloe says, that woman is a menace. She's making all female drivers look like hysterical idiots. What do you need, Ethan? I need you to help me tell the truth, I say. An hour later, we are back in the showroom at Prestige Ferrari. The light is perfect. The cars are gleaming. It is a scene of calm professionalism. We set up a phone on a small tripod. Her Portofino is in service today, so we film by the Roma for the light. I am not in the video. It is not about me. It is about the process. Chloe stands next to the gray Roma, looking confident and relaxed. She is not an actress. She is just a client, and she is angry. The video starts. Hi everyone, she says, her voice clear and strong. My name is Chloe. You might have seen a video today accusing Prestige Ferrari of sexism. I'm a client here. I'm a woman, and I'm a Ferrari owner. I want to show you something. She holds up a folder. This is my file. This is my credit application. This is my insurance Bindera Real One. And this, she says, holding up a certificate, is my completion certificate from the high-performance driving course with Coach Romero. I had to do all of it. Ethan and his team hold every single client to the same high standard. This isn't about gender. It's about safety. It's about respecting the machine. Anyone who says otherwise is not telling you the truth. The video then cuts to Michael. He is standing by his desk, looking directly at the camera. He is calm, factual, and completely believable. I'm Michael, the finance lead at Prestige Ferrari, he says. I can confirm that our dealership's policies on credit, insurance, and driver training are applied universally to every client, without exception. These policies are in place to protect our clients, our assets, and the public. The standards are strict because the vehicles are powerful. It is a matter of safety and liability, and we take it very seriously. The video is short. It is less than 2 minutes long. It is calm. It is professional. It is full of facts. We post it on all the dealership's social media channels. We title it, A Message About Safety and Standards. Comments roll in fast. I track my GT3. These rules are normal. If the brakes were broken, why is her throttle at 100%? Someone posts a meme, a crayon drawing of an SF90 with stops and goes same time. Chloe replies with a smile emoji and the data screenshot. My phone buzzes again. Gary, a neighbor and ham radio nut who once live-streamed our cars and coffee by accident, leaves a voicemail. Breaker. Ethan, this is K7MRT. Your facts are loud and clear. Over. I didn't ask for comic relief. It helps anyway. We do not mention Sharon Vance by name. We do not have to. The effect is immediate. People who had commented on Sharon's video start sharing ours. This makes more sense. Facts over drama. So, she lied about the paperwork and the driving test? Yikes. Chloe's presence is the key. Sharon claimed it was sexism. But here is a woman, a successful model, saying the rules are fair and necessary. It completely destroys Sharon's narrative. The tide begins to turn. The calls to the dealership slow down, then stop. Instead, our video starts going viral in all the local Scottsdale community groups, including the one for the Pine Ridge HOA. Sharon wanted a media storm. She got one, but it is not the one she was expecting. The truth, it turns out, is still more powerful than a good performance. The social media battle is a sideshow. It is loud and messy, but it is not the main event. The main event is the quiet, undeniable fact of the crime, the forged insurance document. While the videos are flying back and forth online, I am on the phone. I am calling the number for the fraud investigation unit of the insurance company whose name Sharon used on her fake binder. I had already sent them a scan of the document. Now I am following up. A woman answers. Her name is Sophia. Her voice is all business. There is no small talk. Sophia Navarro, senior investigator. Hello, Ms. Navarro. My name is Ethan Cole from Prestige Ferrari in Scottsdale. I sent an email a few days ago regarding a potentially fraudulent insurance binder. I have it right here, Mr. Cole, she says. I can hear her typing on a keyboard. The document with the policy number 123456789. My sarcastic side can't help but smile. Even the fraud investigator finds it funny. That's the one, I say. We just wanted to confirm its authenticity before proceeding with a client. I can save you the time, Sophia says, her tone crisp. I can confirm that this document is a forgery. The policy number is fictitious. The agent's signature is not one of our authorized representatives, and we have no one by the name of Sharon Vance holding a high-performance vehicle policy with us or any application for one. It is the confirmation I knew was coming, but it still feels heavy. It is the official stamp on her lie. It takes this out of the realm of showroom drama and puts it squarely into the world of insurance fraud, a felony. I think about the core question that has been bugging me. What defines real justice? Is it just stopping her from getting a car? No. Is it embarrassing her online? No. That's just noise. Real justice, I realize, is about consequences. It is about the system working the way it is supposed to. It is about a lie being met with the truth and an illegal act being met with the law. Ms. Navarro, I say, would it be possible for you to send me an official statement to that effect via email for our records? Of course, Mr. Cole. A formal letter on our corporate letterhead stating that the document is fraudulent is already on its way to your inbox. We take this very seriously. People who do this put everyone on the road at risk. They drive around in high-value vehicles with no real coverage. If they get into an accident, the victims are left with nothing. Her words hit me hard. This is not just about a rich lady wanting a toy. It is about the safety of my community. My protective instinct, usually reserved for the cars and my clients, expands. It is about Mr. Peterson, who might be on the road when she runs a red light. It is about Chloe, whose insurance rates go up because of fraud like this. It is about every person who follows the rules and pays their bills. The email from Sophia arrives a few minutes later. It is exactly as she described, a formal PDF. It uses words like fraudulent, fictitious, and unauthorized. It is a powerful, undeniable piece of evidence. I save it to a secure folder on my computer. I name it Vance Exhibit A. I lean back in my chair. The noise from social media seems far away now. This letter, this simple, factual document, is the real weapon. Sharon Vance, in her arrogance, did not just try to bend the rules of my showroom. She broke the law. She thought it was a shortcut. But what she really did was hand me the key to her own undoing. My methodical brain starts to connect the dots. A person who is willing to commit a felony to get a car. A person who holds a position of power and trust as an HOA president. What else is she willing to do? What other paperwork has she faked? What other rules has she broken? The car is not the issue anymore. The car was just the thing that pulled back the curtain. I look at the name on the fraudulent binder. Sharon Vance, President, HOA. The problem is not just Sharon Vance. The problem is President Sharon Vance. And I have a feeling her neighbors are the ones who are really at risk. My phone buzzes. It is a text from a number I do not recognize. This is Peterson from Pine Ridge. I saw your video and I saw hers. We need to talk. We've been having problems with her for years. The hook is in. The fish is on the line. And now the line is pulling back, revealing something much bigger and uglier deep beneath the surface. I agree to meet Mr. Peterson for coffee. Not near the dealership, not near Pine Ridge. We meet at a neutral, anonymous coffee shop halfway across Scottsdale. He is a man in his 50s with a kind, worried face. He looks like a guy who just wants to water his lawn in peace. Thanks for meeting me, Mr. Cole, he says, stirring his latte. Call me Ethan, and thanks for reaching out. I saw those videos, he says, shaking his head. The one she posted? That's her. That's exactly who she is. It's always someone else's fault. She's always the victim. He leans forward, his voice dropping. A bunch of us in the neighborhood have been suspicious for a while. About the money. My methodical brain clicks into place. This is the thread I was looking for. What about the money? I ask. The HOA fees keep going up every year, but the services keep getting worse. The landscaping is a mess. The pool had to be closed for a month this summer because the pump was broken, and she said we didn't have the funds to fix it. Special projects? New signs at the entrance with her name on them as president. A beautification committee that seems to just involve her and her two friends having lunch at fancy restaurants. When we ask to see the detailed budget, the real receipts, she shuts us down. She says it's all handled by the board's treasurer. And who is the treasurer? I ask, already knowing the answer. She is, Peterson says with a sigh. She appointed herself. It is the classic playbook of a small-time tyrant. Consolidate power, control the money, create a fog of confusion and bureaucracy so no one can see what you are really doing. I think of my brother, the mechanic. He always said, if an engine is making a funny noise, you don't just turn up the radio. You open the hood and find the problem. Sharon is the funny noise. It is time to open the hood. Peterson, I say, you and the other homeowners have a right to see those books. Your HOA's bylaws should have a provision for it. You need to get a certain number of signatures from homeowners to formally request a full audit of the finances. His eyes light up. Really? We can do that. You absolutely can, I say. And when you get access, don't just look for big, obvious things. Look for the small stuff. Look at the HOA credit card statements. Look for charges that don't make sense for a community, spa treatments, expensive dinners at places with no meeting rooms, online shopping. And look for payments to vendors. Check the names of the companies she's paying for services like consulting. I am coaching him. I am giving him the tools. My role is shifting. I am no longer just a car salesman protecting his dealership. I am helping a community protect itself. It feels right. It feels like real justice. Peterson leaves the coffee shop with a look of determination on his face. A week later, he calls me. He is talking in a hushed, excited whisper. We did it, Ethan. We got the signatures. She fought it. She said we were harassing her. But the bylaws were clear. We got the statements. And you were right. It's all here. What did you find? I ask. It's worse than we thought. There are hundreds of charges. A $200 charge at a day spa listed on the summary as clubhouse plumbing repair. A $500 at a steakhouse listed as board meeting expenses on a night when the rest of the board was out of town. Thousands of dollars in charges from high-end clothing websites. He takes a deep breath. But that's not the worst part. You told us to check the vendors. There's a company called Sonorenscapes Consulting. It gets paid $5,000 every quarter for landscaping planning fees. Let me guess, I say. The landscaping is still terrible. It's dead bushes and weeds, he says, his voice rising in anger. So, we looked up the company. We did a corporate record search online, just like you said. There is a pause. I can hear him take a shaky breath. Ethan, the company is registered as a sole proprietorship. The owner is listed as Sharon Miller. And what is Sharon Miller's significance? I ask, though I already know the answer. It's her maiden name, Peterson says, his voice barely a whisper. She's been paying herself $20,000 a year from our HOA fees. The scale of it is breathtaking. The arrogance, the greed, the car, the fake insurance, the lies about the track. It was not a one-time thing. It is her entire way of life. She is a fraud through and through. She has been stealing from her own neighbors, the people she was elected to serve. Peterson, I say, my voice steady. You have everything you need. Call an emergency board meeting. Present the evidence. All of it. She'll scream. She'll lie. She'll say we faked it, he says, his nerve wavering. That's why you don't just present your evidence. I say. You present it alongside mine. This is all one story. A story about a person who believes rules and laws don't apply to her. It's time for everyone to hear the whole story, all at once. I knew this moment would come. The grand finale. And I am ready. The pieces are all in place. The board meeting is the stage, and we are about to turn on a very, very bright spotlight. Under the bylaws, 15% of signatures force a special meeting within 7 days. They hit it in 48 hours. The Pine Ridge HOA Community Hall is packed. The air is thick with tension and anger. It feels like a courtroom before the verdict. I am standing in the back of the room with Michael, my finance guy, and David, our head of security. David is not here for muscle. He is my tech guy tonight. He has a laptop and a small, powerful projector. He also has a thumb drive in his pocket. It contains my part of the story. Sharon Vance is at a long table at the front of the room. She looks confident, almost bored. She is flanked by her two friends from the beautification committee. She clearly thinks this meeting is just more whining from a few unhappy residents. She has no idea what is about to hit her. The meeting starts. The formal agenda is read. Then Mr. Peterson, representing the Concerned Homeowners Committee, is invited to speak. He walks to the podium, his hands trembling slightly as he adjusts the microphone. "Good evening," he begins, his voice a little shaky. "As you know, our committee was formed to review the HOA's finances. We are here tonight to report our findings." Sharon leans back in her chair and examines her nails. She is projecting pure dismissal. Peterson takes a deep breath. He looks at me in the back of the room. I give him a slow, encouraging nod. He turns back to the audience. "We believe it is best to simply show you what we found." David hits a key on his laptop. The projector hums to life. The big screen behind Sharon's head, usually used for showing pictures of community barbecues, lights up. The first image is a credit card statement. A charge for $250 at the Serenity Spa is circled in red. Next to it is the HOA's budget summary showing the expense logged as clubhouse pool maintenance. A murmur goes through the crowd. Sharon lunges for the mic. "Point of order. This meeting is out of order." A dozen voices answer. "Sit down." A retired judge stands. "Point of order is proper, Madam President." It's overruled. She freezes at "Madam President," then forces a smile. "Thank you, Judge." He doesn't smile back. "You're welcome for now." Two board members slide their chairs away from her chair, leaving small gaps like fault lines. David steps to the walnut in front, not behind, just visible. Peterson swallows, then clicks the remote. Spa charge, steakhouse, handbag site. The room tilts from noise to focus. By the time Sonorenscapes comes up, no one is breathing. Each one is paired with the falsified entry in the HOA's books. The murmuring gets louder. Sharon is not looking at her nails anymore. She is sitting bolt upright. Her face is pale. Then Peterson gets to the grand finale. "And then there are the quarterly payments of $5,000 to a company called Sonorenscapes Consulting," he says. Up on the screen comes a copy of the state's corporate filing for the company. The owner's name is clearly visible, Sharon Miller. "For those of you who may not know," Peterson says, his voice growing stronger, "Miller is President Vance's maiden name." The room explodes. People are shouting, pointing. Sharon is on her feet, her face a mask of rage. "This is slander. These are lies. These documents are fake. You have no proof," she shrieks. Peterson looks at me again. "This is the cue." "Actually," Peterson says, his voice cutting through the noise, "we do have more proof. Proof that speaks to a pattern of behavior, a pattern of deceit." I nod at David. He walks calmly from the back of the room to the podium. He does not say a word. He just hands the thumb drive to Peterson. Peterson plugs it into the laptop. Faces are blurred and private details redacted. "We're showing policy sheets and timestamps only. This evidence has been provided by Mr. Ethan Cole of Prestige Ferrari," he announces. Sharon's head whips around. She sees me in the back of the room. For the first time, a look of genuine fear flashes in her eyes. The first image on the screen is a still from the security camera in my showroom. It is Sharon pointing at the red Ferrari. A text box on the screen reads, "Demand for a 6-month lease with no checks." The next image is her forged insurance binder side by side with a real one. With the carrier's fraud unit, we redacted PI and got written permission to show the fraud notice. The fake policy number, 123456789, is circled in bright red. The next slide is the official letter from Sofia Navarro at the insurance company. Its letterhead is clear and official. The word fraudulent is highlighted. The crowd gasps. This is no longer just about HOA fees. This is something else entirely. Then comes the picture of her crumpled, fake track pass. And finally, the telemetry printout from her disastrous lap on the track. The jagged, chaotic lines tell their own story. Each slide is a hammer blow. It is a methodical, undeniable timeline of her lies. The room is dead silent now. The anger has been replaced by a stunned, cold realization. They are seeing the real Sharon Vance. Not the powerful president, but a cheap, clumsy fraud. She stands there, speechless, as the evidence of her own actions is displayed for all her neighbors to see. The trap was not just the track day. The trap was her own character, her own endless belief that she was above the rules. The screen shining down on her is not a projector screen anymore. It is a mirror, and she cannot stand what she sees. The silence in the room is heavy. It is the kind of quiet that follows a loud explosion. All eyes are on Sharon Vance, standing alone at the front, illuminated by the projector's glow. The final slide on the screen is the telemetry printout, a silent, graphic testimony to her incompetence and dishonesty. She opens her mouth, but no sound comes out. Then the dam of her fury breaks. "This is a setup," she screams, her voice raw. "This is a conspiracy." She points a trembling finger at me in the back of the room. He has been out to get me from the beginning. He and his little friends. She gestures wildly at Peterson and the committee. They faked all of this. They are trying to ruin me. I will sue every single one of you for defamation, for libel. You will all be hearing from my lawyer. The threats are loud, but they feel hollow. The evidence is too overwhelming. The room is full of her neighbors, people she has lied to and stolen from. They are not buying it. This is the moment I had anticipated. The cornered animal lashing out. This is where Michael steps in. He walks calmly to the podium. He does not have my history with her or Peterson's. He is a neutral, factual presence. He takes the microphone. If I may, he says, his voice calm and clear, cutting through the lingering chaos. I'd just like to offer a point of legal clarification for everyone here. He pauses, letting the room settle. Even Sharon stops, yelling to listen. The legal definition of defamation or libel requires that the statements made about a person be false. He lets that sink in. Everything that Mr. Peterson and his committee presented tonight was based on official financial records and public documents. The credit card statements are real. The corporate filing is a public record. And everything presented by my colleague from Prestige Ferrari, he gestures toward the screen, is either video evidence, official correspondence from a major corporation, or expert data from a calibrated machine. Presenting documented, verifiable facts in a formal meeting to the relevant parties is not defamation. It is called accountability. Truth is a defense. The documents and data are verifiable. That one simple, clear explanation sucks all the oxygen out of her threats. The word accountability hangs in the air. Her entire defense, her entire strategy of intimidation, has just been dismantled in 30 seconds. She looks around, her eyes darting from face to face, looking for an ally. She finds none. The faces staring back at her are cold with anger and betrayal. An older man in the front row, someone I later learn is the retired judge, stands up. I make a motion, he says, his voice booming with authority. I move for the immediate removal of Sharon Vance as president of the Pine Ridge Homeowners Association for gross financial misconduct and actions detrimental to this community. Second, shouts a woman from the other side of the room. The motion is on the floor. According to the bylaws, a vote for removal for cause can happen at any duly called meeting as long as a quorum is present. The room is more than full. All in favor of the removal of Sharon Vance. The retired judge asks, taking charge. A forest of hands goes up. It looks like every single person in the room. All opposed. Sharon and her two friends on the committee raise their hands. 3 hands in a sea of hundreds. The motion carries, the judge declares. Sharon Vance is hereby removed as president, effective immediately. It is over. Just like that. The power she loved, the title she used as a weapon, is gone. She stares out at the crowd, her face a mixture of shock and pure hatred. She shoves her chair back, grabs her purse, and storms toward the exit. As she passes me, she stops. Her eyes are burning. You will regret this, she hisses. I just look at her. Experience says it never ends clean. She will go home and fire up her social media. She will double down on her story of being a victim. And she does. Later that night, she posts a long, rambling video full of accusations and threats. But it is like a firework in an empty desert. It makes a lot of noise, but no one is there to see it. Our calm, factual video is still making the rounds. Peterson and the other homeowners start posting the evidence from the meeting in the community's private forum. Her credibility is shot. Her power is gone. What is real justice? It is not revenge. It is not about destroying someone. It is about patiently, methodically turning on all the lights, one by one, until there are no shadows left for the lies to hide in. A month later, Pine Ridge has a new board. Peterson serves as interim president. An accountant and a lawyer sort the mess. They'll try to recover the money. That's their fight. The neighborhood heals. Dead bushes are replaced. The pool pump is fixed. It's amazing what happens when funds go where they should. Chloe mails a postcard from a road rally. Her red Portofino is by the ocean. On the back, thanks for keeping the roads safe. Rules rock. I just feel a quiet sense of order coming back. I smile and get back to work. Horsepower, torque, clean curves. The showroom is calm. The dragons sleep. One Tuesday, the bell chimes. Sharon Vance walks in alone. No blazer, simple jeans. Smaller, somehow. She stops at my desk. Hi, she says, voice low. I want to sign up for the driving class. I study her. No angle I can see. The real one. I ask, a small, sad smile. Yes. With Coach Romero. They said to talk to you. Okay. I say, pulling the brochure. 2 days. It's hard. You listen. You do the work. No shortcuts. I know, she says. I get it now. We fill out the form. Her handwriting is neat. She slides it back. What about the car? The lease. One thing at a time, Sharon. I say, using her name. Pass the class. Get real insurance. Submit a credit app. Then we talk. Same rules for everyone. She nods. No fight. Okay. The rules. She turns to go, then pauses. I'm sorry for what I said. The bell chimes. She's gone. I sit with the form. My brother used to say everyone deserves a chance to turn the wrench the right way. Maybe this is hers. Not the car. Not a shortcut. Just a fair start. A line to stand on. Rules to follow. A chance to learn. No special terms. No 6-month deal. Same path for everyone. The showroom is quiet again. The red Ferrari gleams. Everything is in its place.